Hey, welcome back to the Slide Podcast, everyone. All right, Lily, what season are we starting?
Season 5, Episode 1.
That is right. That means we have completed 4 seasons on the Slide Podcast. And I'm pretty excited. I'm excited to get to this season. How about you, Lily?
I am very excited.
I am very excited as well. So listen, everyone, welcome back to the Slide Podcast. Tonight, I'm so used to saying tonight, but it's actually this morning. But Rachel, it is nice to have you back in the show. Well, it's actually just nice to be back recording. But how are you?
Good. Just been super busy. I am playing in the Mexico Softball League. We are going on week 5, I think, of playing, and so far it's been a great experience. I mean, the fans are absolutely insane. They're crazy and energetic, and it's just been a blast just experiencing something new.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you're over there setting like records and, just like mowing them down. Lily, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be really fun.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun. Now, Lily, we had a young lady on our show last season from the Mexico League. What was her name? Leanna?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Leanna. I can't remember her last name, but she also played. And so you might be playing with her. We'll have to get you her information. But anyway, my head's everywhere because we're just getting started here and we have so much to cover over the next like 10 months. So I'm overloaded, but I'm excited because this episode is brought to you by GameChanger. And Lily, have you ever heard of GameChanger?
Yes, I use it all the time.
Yeah, I bet your mom and dad use it probably more than you do.
Yeah, but I watch it all the time.
Well, listen, I know there's parents watch this thing religiously, and I've seen parents get in arguments in the stands because a parent or scored something incorrectly. Like, it's hilarious. We all know what GameChanger is. So this is going to be a fun episode, a lot of fun. So Rachel, before we get started and when we introduce Anna Nickel, who's going to really like school us on some GameChanger info, there's been some changes in the AUSL. So now the Volts are kind of a Dallas or a Texas team.
Yep, we are in Texas. We are about 40 minutes from Austin in Round Rock, Texas. And I believe we're going to be at Dell Diamond.
Awesome. Now that's cool. Do you guys stay there for the most part throughout the season outside of your away games?
Yes, I think we'll actually be at our home base, and when we're not playing, we'll be training there. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting now that we actually have a home base. And
you got to move now. You're going to move?
No.
You're going to stay in Kansas?
No.
You're in San Diego. Kansas was last year. Never mind. San Diego, whatever. Beautiful weather all year long. I mean, never mind. I thought she was in Kansas. Anyway, well, look, I'm excited because I think this year AUSL is going to be even more intense because there's 2 more teams added, right? And more players. I'm excited, and I'm ready for the college season kickoff here. Lily, let's take some early predictions here. Who's going to win the College Softball World Series?
Okay, well, I love Texas. I think Texas is going to win, or Texas Tech.
Okay. Rachel, who do you think?
I have to root for my Bruins.
Okay. They're good. Reese Atwater, I think, hit another home run last night, I believe I saw. Listen, Lily, I'm there with you. I want to see Texas win again. Now, I have no shame with the UCLA girls, but Texas Tech, see, they've taken advantage of the NIL. and they've spent some serious money. So we're about to see if NIL is going to ruin college softball like it's ruining college football. So we'll see. What'd you say, Lily?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, listen, no more of Aaron's babbling and talking. Let's get right to it. And Game Changer is the name of the game
Thank
for
you
us
so much for
today.
having me. I
So,
am
Miss
really
Anna
excited to
Nickel,
be
welcome
here,
to the
and
show.
I spend my whole day talking about softball, and so there's literally nothing I would like to talk about more than the game and the happenings. This is a monumental year for softball. So I'm excited that we're alongside it, get to be part of it in this huge rise. And I love that I get to work for a company that is central to the youth sports and softball and allowing us to live the game like never before. And really, that's the goal for you, Lily, is to be able to get more out of Game Changer and get to relive the best moments and grow and get better, and just provide something that brings the community together.
You know what? I got to take a second here and pause, and this is for Rachel here. But you know how she just spun all of that great, having cameras around everywhere, just captures all those memories and all those great things. Imagine if they had cameras when we were growing up. She wouldn't have been able to sell me like that. Like, there would have been a lot of coaching points, but it wouldn't have ended up with the right way. So it is a good thing that we've got cameras around everywhere now, Lily, and it is for the fact that we can help you train and coach you. And man, I'm excited. So I've read a lot about the new changes with Game Changer, Anna. I feel like I'm a well-versed user, and I love using Game Changer for everything, no matter which sport I'm coaching, just because it combines the communication. I can sync it with my calendar. I promise this isn't like an info commercial, like for me. Anna's here to do this stuff, but like there is advantages to it, right? So, Anna, like you guys just made a huge press release and kind of like just like maybe throw a couple of cool bullet points out at us as to what's really some of the details are.
It is for the whole community. So whether you are an athlete playing right now and you're trying to get recruited, we have automatic highlight clips that turn into highlight reels for your team. We have insights at the player level. We have insights at the team level. And this allows us to see how we're doing, see how we're trending. Maybe we're not a super stat person. That's okay. But understanding if I'm trending up or trending down is really important. I think some of us like more information and some of us like less. Game Changer can be either one of those things, right? It's self-serve. So you get to decide how much you're digging in and how much you're looking into it. And if you're really a stat person, over 150 stats. Just too many, I think, look at all of them. But finding stats that make sense to you.
150?
Yeah, so most
I
people
didn't know there was 150
right?
stats
the stat,
existed.
but that's actually not a helpful stat for most athletes because there are way more factors that go into it. So, for example, batting average doesn't win ball games, but how your batting average is with runners in scoring position really influences how many runs your team puts across the plate, and that actually is a more helpful stat line than just batting average. Because if you have batting average and you're just kind of dinking them in, great, you're on base, but being on base doesn't score runs, right? You gotta bring them all the way around. So a great bunter who maybe doesn't have the most like luxury stat line, she is an integral part of a lineup, and you should never discount that athlete because she's not hitting 400. She is moving runners. She's effective. She is pushing runners across the plate, which is what you need in our game. And so we have all those stats. And for all my pitchers out there, I'm a pitching coach. We look at things like strike percent, right? It's not crazy to calculate. It's just how often are you throwing strikes, and it's a really good understanding of whether trending up or trending down, or understanding, wow, this game where I was really successful, my strike percentage was, let's say, 70%. This game that was not very effective for me was 60%. Wow, that's a huge difference for me as a pitcher if I want to have better outcomes. So let's talk about grandparents. Grandma and grandpa are across the country, can't be there because, let's be honest, we all have people who can't be there all the time. we just released 1080p streaming, so it's crystal clear. So now when you're watching a game from anywhere, it is coming through clear and you can see all the details, and that's really what we want. We want to feel like we're there. So there is literally something for everyone in this release. I mean, good, bad, and different. I can talk about this forever, but I don't think that's the most interesting thing for your listeners. So maybe we talk about, some of the things that we might use, or Rachel, we'd love to hear kind of what your season looks like and how you're training, and then maybe we relate it back and how GameChanger can help people do that for themselves when they don't have access to the same technology that you do as a professional.
Yeah, I mean, for us as pros, like we don't really have like a training camp, I guess. It's more of like we're on our own and we're training by ourselves, or if someone's in the area, you just try and get with someone to train with you. So I know like when I'm constantly like in the batting cage, like I'm constantly recording my swing. Even when I'm throwing a bullpen, like I'm constantly trying to record my bullpen. So I mean, it's like it's
and
always just like a
you
solo
could also be
job for
using
me
GameChanger for
to
that.
train.
You could actually make your own team on GameChanger and have all of that recorded in one place, all bullpens, all swings. Something we've seen on the baseball side is they'll play a game, right? So the pitcher will like throw and they'll like track it in their bullpen as a game, and then they get all that calculated after the fact, because it is hard to track on your own. And then like, did you really track 4 bullpens ago to today? Probably not. We're human. We only have so much capacity. So there's so many ways to use it. Even for you today, so many ways to use it, where you can set up on the side. We even integrate with Mevo to do a multicam. So you could even have like a multicam angle and have someone switching cameras for you. Like, it is wild what we can do today that we never could have done. We also integrate with Pocket Radar. So you could do a bullpen with a Pocket Radar side by side and have it track your bullpen in velocity too. Like, I think of all these cool things that, man, like we didn't have that. And I'm not going to say velocity is the only measure of success, but it is a component in our success. And I also think our health, right? When we're not throwing as hard, you're like, something's wrong. And is it like fatigue, or is it, mechanical?
That's pretty crazy, the integration with the devices. And like, you should have almost and I hate to be in an episode where we're talking about all these cool features, but it's almost like you should add like a game simulation so that you could like track a bullpen. But that'll come next. So just, I know everyone's like, all the GameChanger guys right now are taking notes. And
we do have a really robust user community on Facebook who is constantly putting input saying, hey, we would love to have this feature. Yeah, and we read those. We take them to heart. And say,
I saw.
How could we build this? How could we make this integrated into the product? Because we want it to be easy. Like, that user simplicity is like a top priority. We do not want to build something that is hard to use. We want to build something that is easy and simple, and it's why people like our scoring so much, is because it's intuitive, right? Most of us are pretty, we're on our phones, maybe more than all of us.
Very intuitive.
Like,
yeah.
And you just tap, you slide. It's easy, right? Slide podcasts, you slide your runners around, they steal bases. We love it. Lily. Oh.
She's tying in kind of stuff right here. Listen, she might be joining the team here. Listen. All right, so I got questions. So now, the fact that GameChanger gives me coaching insights and things like that, now is that relying on an AI technology to scan, or how does that work?
That is such a great question. So what it's doing, we already do this already with the recap story. So you may notice that after the end of the game, it's like Lily Scott walks it off in the bottom of the 7th to get the win. Right, we already
after throwing a 19 strikeout no hitter, legit.
So we already do that, and that's generative AI. So that AI is saying, okay, we know that all these things happened. It's prioritizing. How do we include as many athletes as possible in this? How do we make sure everyone shows up in this recap story as much as possible? So first thing, it's very inclusive. And then the second part of that, for the coach insights, we have a brilliant engineer who really built that recap story for us. And then he took it farther and said, okay, we know all this information from baseball and softball for, the millions of games that are scored, and we can find patterns to what leads to success. So he built out this framework that says, okay, this person walked in this inning, that increased your chances of winning by 32%. They can literally put that kind of a point on it, because over time, right, over millions of games, like the patterns emerge where when you walk people, they tend to score, right? We all kind of feel like know that colloquially, like when you walk people, they score to punish you. As a pitcher, they're like, no walks. But it is very true also that it increases your chances of winning when that happens. Or let's say you had a pitcher who got bases loaded and then strikes out the side. That increased your chances of winning by 15%, because we know that ruins momentum for the other team, right? Like they feel demoralized and your team gets a little bit of that oomph. So it's those kind of insights. So I actually use them for post-game talks. They're great. They're great for practice planning. Don't get me wrong. Practice planning is but a next day problem. Typically in the moment, it's like, wow, Sarah, your tenacity to get that final strikeout actually like pushed us over the edge to get that win. I want to make sure you know that one strikeout did make a difference, because it's hard to know if things make a difference in softball. It's a long game. And
well, the details get lost.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, we're all human. I hate to like remind us that we're human, but we forget things and we get swept up in the moment. And, Lily wants to know that her walk, she might've been 0 for 2 today and only had a walk, but that walk put her in a position to score and allowed her teammates to hit her around. So it's really about, I think, branching out our minds into the team game instead of the singular game, which I think in today's culture, we get swept up in the singular culture instead of the team nature. And it's a shame, but it's also about like, hey, how do we democratize this technology so it's accessible to everyone? Because GameChanger is free for coaches. Free for coaches, free for coaches, free for coaches. People are like, how much does this cost? I'm like, it's free. We want to enable coaches because coaches are the lifeblood of the sport, and they need to have access to information that helps them coach more equitably, coach more fairly. And it's funny. Data to me is this like very ambiguous thing until you contextualize it. And then it's like, why does this matter? Well, it matters to Lily. It matters to Rachel because it's mentally tough to be a great player. And knowing that the little things.
As long as you can take the data and map it to a behavior, right? If data you can't, pinpoint where you're going to impact it, like that's just data for the sheer sake of having data, right? But like this is like, Lily, you're a pitcher. Like, how could this help you?
So like I use this thing called Go Route, and like my pitching coach will just call the pitch and like I'll get the pitch. And when I was pitching in my championship the other day, so I always try to remember the batters, and this batter was in the back of the box. And then my pitching coach wanted to throw a pitch, but I called him off and I just threw my own pitch because I knew that she was going to be able to hit it from last time she went up to bat.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, and you'll be able to track, how you performed in GameChanger, like against that batter, right? And like, that's really cool. Rachel, like, do you guys in the pros have tools similar to this? I would have to imagine.
I think our Bravos team still uses GameChanger. I think we actually had it going on a couple games ago, actually. I know our assistant coach just got an iPad specifically for it because she was really excited to use it. So, but yeah, I think it's a great tool, just especially like if you need to go back and look at a specific batter or specific inning, like what did I do in this inning for those 3 punch outs, like anything like that, I think is a great, like, it's always great to go back and look. So, I mean, I think it's a great tool to just have on hand.
Something I also don't think people know enough about is that we do automatic spray charts through scorekeeping. So let's say, Rachel, you are like, man, I feel like I'm giving up a lot of hits to a certain part of the field. You could go into GameChanger and see literally where the balls are getting hit. So we have like, if it's a red dot, if it's out, it's a green dot, if it's a hit. And so you can visualize if you're giving up hits in a certain part of the field, right? And then as a hitter, you can go visualize like, where am I getting my hits? And so oftentimes, we want to diversify where we're getting hit so we don't hit into a shift. So it is so much more than just about, the stat. It's about the trend. And I'm just getting beat up down the left side. I wonder what's going on. Maybe my drop ball is not as effective right now on the inside. Let's pick another one of those tools that measures, drop and see how, if it's not dropping as effectively, because, it's tough to give up, a shot down the line. You're like, oh, that looks bad. So there's so many factors that can play into this that have nothing even to do with like a number, but a visual. And I find most of us really love a visual. We love seeing over just the number. So if you haven't, right, Rachel, if you haven't checked out the spray charts and been like, oh, am I getting hit harder in any part of the field? Okay, cool. Let's see why that is. And it also gives coaches an idea of like, wow, we're getting beat down the first baseline. Okay, we got to start that. Our right fielder doesn't have range down that side of the field for her. So we're actually going to slide her farther when Rachel pitches that side, because, that's where hitters hit, because of, you have great movement on the outside half of the plate. And so they're, when they touch them, they're getting down the line and get some more outs in the foul territory on the right side. So there's just so many things here that strategically change our planning as coaches and can help our development as an athlete.
I think anything that helps simplify the duties of a coach, like, oh my goodness. I mean, because if you think about it this way, all right, so I would say, Anna, you probably actually got a better idea, but I would say half of your network are probably volunteer coaches, right?
I'll say 90,
if not more.
90% are volunteer coaches.
Yeah.
So few coaches are getting paid to be there.
Yeah. In some cases, those coaches have very little experience, or they got voluntold, hey, you're coaching the team this year. Because we all know that happens. It happened to me, and Lord bless my soul. But like giving those rookie coaches tools to help improve their team and to be able to explain and talk about the different things that matter most to these kids, or should be mattering most. I think that's significant. Because if you think about that new coach, right, and his team's using, he's using GameChanger, and he's using it similar to what you said, Anna, as kind of that game recap with the team. Like, now he can speak and he can speak intelligently around things that happen in the game, and that only builds his confidence and his players' confidence in him. So, I think there's a lot to. There's just so much value in just that aspect of it, right? And because we all know that other 10% of coaches, they're not going to use it if you gave it to them anyway, because they already know better in most cases. So, no, I'm just kidding. For all you paid coaches out there, some of you are bad, but there's some of you really suck. But Lily, we're not going to be too mean to those coaches today, okay? We're gonna take it easy on those coaches, because we're gonna say good job to all the other coaches. Right, Rachel? I'm gonna be good today. Anna, what's your favorite feature of GameChanger?
That's an impossible question. That is an impossible question, but if I had to pick, it's the fact that we clip every single outcome in the game. So I coach at a Division III school. And being able to have video that is already clipped for you saves you hours of time. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a coach.
Editing film.
Man, it's like, wow, there was a really great play I want to clip and show her to build kind of her internal highlight reel. Big visualization. I want her to watch good plays. I want her to watch herself succeeding. I want her to be able to pull emotionally from that moment. And I want to show her the moments that were not successful and say, do you see what happened here? Because I think as coaches, we assume we have the same perspective as our athletes, and we do not. We do not.
What?
I know, it's wild. So I like to watch sometimes together, or say, hey, look at this clip. Tell me what you see. We thrive on video of all kinds, not just game video, bullpen video as well. I say, what do you see? And oftentimes they're seeing something completely different than what I see. And I go, do you notice how your hips are tilted? Do you notice how your shoulders are tilted? And they're like, I've never looked at my shoulders. And something that feels obvious to me is not something she's ever been told to look at. She was looking at her foot, which I was like, yeah, your foot's important, but I want you to look at your shoulders. And she's like, wow, I had no idea that tilted shoulders lead to me being out of control. So video is just my ultimate training tool. And on GameChanger, you can actually stream your practices too. It's not only game footage. You can stream anything you want. I actually tell them to stream their first team meeting of the year, so you have a hard copy of what was said during your first meeting of the year. Because how many of us remember things verbatim? No one. We all think we do, but no. So having a document of what did we talk about? What are our team rules? What are our team expectations? Having that as like a copy is a great thing to have, not to gotcha anyone, but when you're having a hard, maybe midpoint of the season because the grind, you can go back and say, hey, let's watch our team meeting and just have a discussion about, are we staying true to ourselves in these goals that we set early in the season? And allow the athletes to actually be like, oh, wow, we're not. And then you don't have to bring the hammer down as a coach. You actually empower your athletes to recognize the gap. And that, I think, skill is for all of us, not just coaches. So sorry, that was a long answer to say, I love our video.
I was wondering, I was like, Rachel, what question did I ask her? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That like video.
I there's a lot of elements that really like sold me early on, even as a parent that discovered it through a Dick's receipt, I believe it was, or something like that. And I like sent it to our youth director. Now this was like 6-7 years ago. 6-7. No one got it. Rachel, you didn't get the 6-7.
I don't have TikTok.
I don't watch TikTok, but my son runs around the house at any point in time that those two numbers are put together, and he's 6-7.
I have a 2-year-old who was taught that by our babysitter, and every once in a while she'll just go, she doesn't know what it means, but she just goes, because you laugh, and she's like,
well, I don't know what it means.
No one knows. That's the secret with trends.
Right.
No one knows.
Well, it's kind of scary, but that's okay. That's okay. See how we get like off on a tangent right there? Now I can't remember what I was about to say. Actually, you know what? I was telling you what I love most about GameChanger. So a lot of it is just like the simplification of communication. Like so many teams want to use GroupMe, right? And GroupMe is good at what it's made for. Like when it comes integrating into sports and schedules and practices and scrimmages, and like you can't get any better than GameChanger. And I'm not giving like I'm pretty honest on the show, but I like GameChanger. I do.
I mean, I am delighted to hear
Rachel?
that. It does help.
Yes, I know. Wouldn't it be something though if I got on here and I said how much I hated it? That would be bad.
I would love that.
That'd
actually.
be bad. No, you wouldn't.
I would. So, because my job is to tell people why GameChanger is the right fit for them. So when we go to clinics and conventions, we'll go to the NFCA convention, we'll go to ABCA, and we'll run into people who are like, GameChanger isn't it. And I'm like, tell me more. Let's have a conversation, because it's you're right. It's not everything. It doesn't do everything. It can't track every tiny thing. You're right. Maybe what can it do for you? How do we fit into your life? GameChanger has all these features that people just don't know about, which is why we're here talking about them. And so it's having a conversation like, well, you guys don't track defensive innings played. And I'm like, guess what? We just released defensive innings played that helps you coach more equitably and ensure that players have had time in multiple positions if that's important to you, right? Well, you guys don't do
Well, you
this.
can't please everybody.
No, you don't. You can't. But everybody has a through line of needs. Everyone needs to feel connected to their community. Everyone needs to have up-to-date information that is universally kind of understood. And all of us really need people to also help us with our teams. No one does this alone. And I don't want anyone to be like, well, I'm the head coach, I do it alone. I'm like, no, you don't. You have an entire staff of family members. Even if you're maybe the only coach, every person who's involved in your team is on your team if you treat them that way. And so GameChanger says, hey, let's bring that all together. You can assign scorekeepers, you can assign videographers, like delegate. Allow them to help you so you can help their kids. So I love talking to people who don't know GameChanger, don't love it. because there's always something that's like, I have a solve for your pain point. There's something that is really rough for you as a coach. We have a way to fix that, and it's free. I'm like, try it. If you still have all these issues after the fact, tell us, because we have engineers who are fixing things on a daily basis, and that is not dramatic. A daily basis. Like, I want every athlete to think about how hard you work on a daily basis to improve your skill. We have engineers doing that too. Like, they're I don't know that I can call being an engineer athletic per se, but like, they are grinding just like you are grinding as an athlete to make it better every single day. You have that in common with the technology space. So there is something for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we live in a world where you can't satisfy every need. And that's what we as a world have become so used to getting, is whatever we want right when we want it. So if I can't get it, then there's a problem. And, you know, I can say when I started using GameChanger, where it has came from and where it is today is like my vision is like you guys starting your own youth streaming network where these games now can be streamed. She's smiling. Maybe she knows something. I don't know. But like why not? Because now, like, think about it. I mean, now then you get into like broadcasting rights and all this stuff with the bigger games. But even for the kids, though, imagine how cool that would be for the kids.
I imagine a world in which we have Lily, you know, playing on that network, right? And then seeing yourself grow. And I don't know if you guys tuned in to the NFCA Leadoff Classic last weekend that was in Clearwater, but we actually broadcast all of those games. All games are being broadcast on air. And so you had Tennessee, you had Notre Dame, you had Auburn, you had Clemson. Like, we had these major powerhouse schools ranked in the top 25 playing on GameChanger. And then we also partner with MLB to bring softball to MLB Network. So we are continue to expand the audience. And what's cool is GameChanger can accept any relief feed. So the protocol is RTMPS. It's secure. You can send video to GameChanger from like really crazy high-powered cameras. So the team we work with to put that on is called BFA Sports, and they are sending, I think, 4 or 5 camera angles. And then obviously there's a producer who's like, okay, go to this camera, go to this camera, go to this camera. Yep. We had Natasha Watley on our broadcast on Saturday morning. She is, I mean, 2-time Olympian, just incredible person, just the kindest soul. Like, we got to work with her on GameChanger, and it was just this like really fun full circle of like, you can play on GameChanger your whole youth career, and then when you get to college, it stops. But for these athletes, it didn't. We captured some of their first ever home runs in college, right? It's like, we have your first hit when you played when you were, you know, maybe 8. And now we have your first hit in college on GameChanger. Like, it's just this cool full circle arc of everything they've worked for, and then capturing it. So those parents, like, I saw parents like downloading clips of their kids first, because in college, you don't actually get access to that the same way you get in youth sports. In college, it's controlled by sports information directors and media rights, where with GameChanger, we're for everyone. Download those clips, save those clips, share those clips, like, take them wide, because it is really about the athlete's journey and how hard they've worked to reach this peak of Division I college athletics.
Well, and then you think about, all right, so let's think about the sophomore, rising junior, rising senior, right? So in the world of social media, we need to create these highlight reels, right? So how does GameChanger help me as an athlete, or help me simplify and make this process easy? Because some of these things are pretty insane. Like, how does GameChanger help that athlete?
That's a great question, because I think people think of us not as a recruiting partner, right? You're not sending emails through us. We're not controlling that at all. We are just the place where all the information lives. So there's 2 paths that I recommend. The first one is just when you finish a game, go download the clips you want at the end of the weekend, stitch them together. I mean, how, like, they have CapCut. Like, you have so many tools at your disposal. Make your own reel, pop it on social media, get it out there. So that's one version. The other version is build an athlete profile in GameChanger. What it allows you to do is pull all your stats and video into one singular profile that you can share to anyone, even if they don't have a GameChanger account, for them to see. And it automatically will update your stats because it's connected to your team, which is being run by your coach. And coaches are very diligent about updating GameChanger because that's how they're also keeping stats. So it removes some of the pressure for the athlete to try to chase, and always be updating. Like, let your coach update, let it sink into your profile. And so all you're doing is just picking out the video you would like it to be in your athlete profile. Not sit in and forget it, because we can't do that, but you can kind of like wait for the end of the weekend, add some clips, and then keep going, and then just link it in your Twitter profile, link it in your emails. I mean, share your GameChanger team with college coaches. We had a great conversation with Auburn where they were like, oh, we love using GameChanger Recruit because I can see her whole year, right? If I'm recruiting a kid and I go see them for a weekend, did she have an amazing weekend? And now I'm getting an athlete who is not as consistent as I would like. Or you get to see her on GameChanger all year long and you're like, wow, she really is consistent. And that's who I want to recruit. So coaches are looking for consistency as well as excellence, right? You got to be excellent, but that excellence has to be consistent, which is why, Rachel Garcia is the pitcher she is because she's so consistent and delivers. And I mean, how many pitchers are throwing 16 strikeouts in a game, right? No one, but it's that excellence. And
just these two.
Yeah, just these two.
Just these two.
Like, you're delivering that excellence over time, and people rely on you and they count on you, and they know, obviously you're not recruitable age anymore. But like they're recruiting you into their pro team, right? Because they know you are going to deliver, and you have shown that. I mean, forever, right? Like, I don't know a time when I didn't know the name Rachel Garcia. I feel like, man, like, she's always existed. She's incredible.
You're gonna make her blush. Well, I think that's the coolest part about it, right? So, I mean, I have heard so many stories from players that, took a chance on Twitter and, posted some videos and got the attention of a recruiter somewhere, and making it easier for these kids to be able to communicate with colleges. I think that should be shouted from the rooftops, right? Because when you think about parents, they invest a lot of money into their kids, and some parents invest money into, let's just say, a little media team to follow these kids around, right? And GameChanger kind of takes the role of some of that and compiles the videos. And I think that's a pretty cool tool. Lily, what do you use GameChanger for, Lily?
I use it all the time. I love GameChanger so much, but I have one question.
Yeah.
So first, I just want to say my family loves GameChanger, but we always put it on our Apple TV, mirror it from the phone. But when is there gonna be a GameChanger app for Apple TV?
Lily, you're my favorite. I love the hard-hitting question. I will say, I don't know when there will be an Apple TV app, but I know our team is looking at it very consistently, saying, how do we make this happen? Because it is so cool to watch it on a big TV, and you deserve it. You deserve to be on that big screen TV so your family can watch from home. So I don't know. But Lily, when we're done, send me an email. When I know when it's going to come out, I will send you an email, and I will let you, or your mom, probably your mom's email. I will let you know, because I would absolutely love to deliver that and get you the first look at it as soon as we can.
Yeah, you can be a beta tester for it. Listen, I have, Lily, just so you know, I think I have 4 Apple TVs in my house. That's what I use everywhere too. So you and I both could hook this thing up in our house, and we could.
Yeah.
That's how we could what? We just turn on our TV to GameChanger and see what games are on. How cool would that be?
I have 10 Apple TVs.
10? I don't even have 10 TVs. When I have 4 of the old ones in my media cabinet, but they don't count. But that's insane. Well, listen, obviously there's a need for Apple TVs out there. Rachel, I'll send you one so you can be a part of the team as well. And Lily, that was a great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for.
Because think about it, Anna. Think about this. You watch NFL? I see a Russell Wilson jersey there.
Yes, my husband is a major football fan. I mean, the Hawks just took home the championship, so we love it. Yeah.
But think about Sunday Ticket.
I know.
Right? How freaking cool is Sunday Ticket? Now GameChanger delivers Southeast games, and it's broken up by like regionals. Stop. Like y'all might need to just hire me. Let me run this thing
Perfect.
for you. I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Yes.
send me an email. Let's get you, let's get it.
Let's do it.
I actually want
My people gets with your people.
Yeah, I love it. Rachel, I wanted to go back to you kind of on if you were recruiting athletes today, right, to come play in college. What are the things that you look for, and how do you really make those decisions?
I would say the biggest piece is like when you're in a situation, whether you're at bat or on the mound, like what are you doing to, one, get yourself out of it, and two, how are you attacking the zone, like what your body language is looking like. And I mean, there's a lot of factors that play into recruiting. I mean, I was a coach for 2 years in the college world, and got to recruit a few times, and like I would say recruiting is the hardest thing to do. A lot of it was going online and looking at these girls' posts, or there were some game changer stuff that we looked at, and then others we were out at the ballpark. And so I think just again, everything that these girls are doing, whether it's on the field or off the field, like people are always watching. Whether you're a good teammate, what does it look like when you strike out, when you give up a run, like what does it look like after that?
And that reaction, I think, is so telling, right? Like, do you go in the dugout and throw down your helmet? It's like, because GameChanger does capture the sound. We can't see you in the dugout, but we can hear it. So, or, someone talking behind the camera. It's like, those cameras are on. The sound is on.
Yeah.
There are too many times where people say things. It's like, that is not an appropriate thing to say with the camera right there.
Or they say something about somebody on the team and the rest of the family hears it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that shakes the whole team up. So.
Yeah, so it's just a reminder to be
Again,
kind.
see, I started this whole thing, Anna, with saying I am so glad we didn't have all of these cameras when I was playing at that age, right? Because it would have caught a lot more than that.
I think the biggest thing is that like when kids ask me what recruiting looks like, I'm always like, just know there's always a camera on you. Whether you know it or not, there's always a camera on you.
One time I was pitching at my tournament, we won, and it was 1-0. And then the blue came up to the coaches, and they were like, "Yeah, that girl should have thrown the ball to home, and they didn't win. They should have won. It should have been still 0-0."
Oh, and that was on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's what the blue said to all of the parents.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
see?
Yes, and that's a great
Camera's always
that's
on.
also a great thing we can use video for as a training tool. Saying, hey, this was captured, and let's have a conversation about accountability. There are things that are appropriate to say, and there's things that are not appropriate to say. This is a great learning moment, and I think sometimes some of us forget how much heart and soul is going onto the field, and it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're 6, you want to win just as bad as when you're 16, as when you're 26. That desire to win doesn't go away. So it's also an opportunity for people to remember how much heart is going into this, and they really care, and that that can hurt your feelings to say something like that. So video is there, I think, also, like, yes, it can capture things that are not great, and it's a chance to say, hey, I noticed this happened. It's not appropriate to talk about teammates when they're not around. It's not appropriate to say these things to their parents. It's an opportunity to maybe nip some of the negative culture that can sneak into teams, because you actually have a recording of it, so you can say, hey, let's have a conversation about this and ensure it doesn't happen again, because we want to create a positive learning culture. And when people know there's accountability on the table, oftentimes they will keep it to themselves at the ball field, which is preferable, because we want to create a safe environment for kids to compete and go hard, because they're going hard, and we don't need to criticize them for a single mistake we make in a game. We say, hey, let's work on that at practice. So yes, it's both sides of the same coin.
Well, it's a way to keep honest people honest, and it's a way to hopefully try to maintain humankind. If you threaten them with there's a camera around, maybe people will try to be nice to one another. So, Lily, we are down to our last question, and hold on, you love to jump ahead at this question, and I don't think Anna knows which question this is. I'm hoping I don't think she does. Lily, without saying it, do you know which question I am talking about?
Yes, I do.
All right. Lily has the tendency to just run the show how she sees fit. And sometimes it's even better. But Lily, all right. Set it up really cool, like for Anna. You know what I mean? Like paint the picture, paint the landscape for her. Because this is the hardest question that we ever ask on this show, Anna. I mean it. I mean it. All right, Lily, take it.
Okay. When you played softball, what was your walk-up song?
Ooh, I've had quite a few over the years. To end my college
What would it be
career,
today?
it was Back in Black because I was a pitcher.
Ooh.
So like the beat would hit and then I get to like jog out to the circle and it was like dun 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 dun. So I loved it. Like to me, it was about like grounding in the moment. Like it was like calm before the storm. So I love that lead up. And if it was today, it would unfortunately be a toddler song probably because that is the primary music we play in my household. There's a song called
Let It Go.
I dressed up as Elsa for Halloween shamelessly. So like I would do that with 0% irony. There's a song called The Happy Song by Imogen Heap. And it was the only song that would get my daughter to stop crying in the car. So like that would
that's
be my
an amazing song.
It's like da 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 da. Way too poppy and like happy now, but now I would walk out being like, look, if I can handle a toddler, I can handle anything.
And if the song can calm a toddler, it can settle anybody's nerves, probably. So, Rachel, you might need to get that song. We'll get that sent to you down there in Mexico.
Okay.
Anna, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank GameChanger for hanging out with us and you getting a chance to share all this cool information. Any final things you'd like to throw out there?
I will just offer,
before we start wrapping
if people
up?
have questions, you can email me, anna.nickel, Nickel, @gc.com. Happy to answer questions, happy to walk through some of these updates that are really exciting. Again, we are free for coaches. So if you're a coach who's like, I don't know, shoot me an email. Let's talk. Let's jump on a call. I'm happy to show you. Also, go back and rewatch some of that leadoff classic games. There was a major upset between Southeastern Louisiana and Oregon. It was an amazing game. Watch that with your team. It's free to watch the whole game. You could watch clips. Watch that game and see, some things that move the needle. You have two really aggressive base running teams. How did they use that? How did it benefit them? How did it hurt them? Watch that with your team because, again, athletes need to see what you see to make those strides. And there's no better way than watching a game that you can then pause and rewind and watch again. What did you guys see? Have them chart it by hand, right? Print out game. Have them do it on GameChanger, tap scoring. But just getting into those things really helps them learn the game. And that's where I think a lot of we're missing right now is kids don't know the game, not because they're not trying to know the game, but we're so busy trying to level up their skills on the field that sometimes we forget to level up their mindset and understanding of the flow of a game. So it's a great activity. You need a day where maybe you've like pushed really hard over the weekend. Awesome. We're going to have a little lunch and learn day. We're going to watch some softball and eat some snacks and just kind of switch up the flow because they need that different perspective to see what you see. And I know as coaches, we never have enough time in the day. So this is a great way to let them kind of orchestrate some of their own education without you having to manage it the entire time. So that's my final plug is it's completely free for you as a coach. The Leadoff Classic, you can just type in NSCA Division I Leadoff Classic on GameChanger. It'll pull up all the games on the app and you can kind of pick and choose what you'd like to watch. And then understand that we're trying to be better every day, just like you are. We are trying to match your energy as a coach because the game is nothing without people who are willing to develop athletes and help them with their own free time. Again, volunteering. And I know even our paid coaches, right? Even our paid coaches are out there grinding to be the best they can possibly be to help.
Most of them. Yeah, most of them.
Win, but
Wait, before we win, I just want to say congratulations on the wedding rejoicel.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Like I totally sorry, Anna. We that was
key.
great.
Tell
I
us
know,
more.
but Rachel, congratulations. Yeah, she got married. When did you get married?
December 6th. So it's been 2 months.
Yeah, and she's enjoying marriage with her in Mexico and him in San Diego.
He's here today.
Oh, he is. See, I can't get it. See, the other day
Family.
I asked and he wasn't there. So
Yeah, family
good.
flew out yesterday, so they're all here.
What was your guys' song when you guys danced?
Till You Can't by Cody Johnson.
You like Cody. I remember you saying that. That's funny. You know, we talk about walk-up dance, we walk out songs, and we got our first dance. We that's a good segment there, Lily. I'm glad you brought that. So, all right, Anna. Look, I love everything. You know, I think it's the cool part is it's almost like GameChanger gives you a game Rolodex. You know, for those who understand what a Rolodex may even be at this time and age, but like you have access to unlimited amount of games at the palm of your hand. Your servers must be insane.
We have a lot of games.
You must have.
I think there's more games scored in maybe a single weekend than the entire MLB season every weekend. Like it is.
I was reading something. Yeah, I was doing some research and I was reading the amount of games broadcasted on GameChanger is insane. So, well, look, thank you guys so much. And hopefully, everyone listens to this episode and gets to enjoy the features that you guys have just released. Because nothing's even worse is to have the app, use the app, but then not take advantage of the features that you have available there. So, ladies, this has been an awesome kickoff episode, and I'm glad we're back. We've got next week's episode is going to be the rookies, and it's going to be our 4 new field reporters. We're going to have an episode just with the rookies, and we're going to get to know those guys and gals. And Lily, they're going to blow some minds this year. Obviously, you're going to continue to blow minds, but we got some rookies that I think they're going to push the bets. So anyway, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Listen, I can't let the episode go without talking about our sponsors. Rachel, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, just thank you to Squares for allowing me to wear the best shoes on the market and be able to play the best I can on the field and train in the training room. And then also thank you to Wilson in Louisville.
Awesome. And thank you to Squares as well. Love their athletic shoes. And if you've never had Squares shoes, it's the best shoes for an athlete. Rachel wears them to play in, train in, and we'll have to get you some information. But thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Stinger Sports in Fort Mill, South Carolina, and thank you to GameChanger. So go follow us. Go follow everyone on social media. All right. Well, listen, thank you guys again. And Lily, close us out.
Until next time.
We'll catch you on the slide.
Thanks for joining the action and sharing our love for the game. Now go practice your swing, or at least look like a pro in the mirror. Subscribe and follow the Slide Podcast and the Field Team on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your favorite social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review, a thumbs up, and recommend us to every person you meet. Got a question? Drop it in your review. We might just answer it on the podcast. Keep grinding, dreaming big, and remember, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Till next time, we'll catch you on